My name is Lauren Adams, and I work in coding, and I will retire from Kadlec because I have never in my life worked for an organization that is so caring.
I was born in the old Kadlec Hospital, and it was also there that I did Candy Stripe volunteer work. And I came on there in 1977, and I've been there for 37 years. And I'll be retiring at the end of this year.
Back in 1980, we decided we were going to open a child care center. And it just so happens I was pregnant at the time, and I remember we used the old front of the hospital back. The building had been cut off, and when the new building was built between 69 and 71, but we kept part of the old building and we turned that into a child care center. And I can remember my husband and I painting the inside of the child care center while I was pregnant with our first child. And then my daughter started the first day of the Kadlec Child Care Center and went there until it was time to graduate to go to school. And then she came back years later and worked at the Child Care Center. So, both my daughters thought the Child Care Center was the greatest thing ever, and they still have books over there with my daughter's names in them.
My name is Catherine Windsor, and I have been at Kadlec for going on 20 years this September. I have cried with many patients, I have laughed with many patients, I have reinsured many patients, and this place has become my home away from home, and Kadlec is my life.
Well, May 16th, which is this Friday as this is being taped, will be my 20th anniversary of going to work here at Kadlec. Hands down, the most memorable story is the wedding that we did a few years ago, Jennifer and Nathan. I'll never forget them. And she was a cancer patient who wanted to get married and had a limited amount of time left in her life, and our team came together, staff, to put on a wedding for her and her family, and it was held in the chapel. Dr. Rado participated, our chaplain group participated, our staff participated in many ways, everything from the ceremony to help getting the bride ready for the wedding to the food afterwards at the reception. Hands down the most memorable event that I've ever been a part of here.
I think the reason that I wanted to come to Kadlec and the reason that I've stayed is because Kadlec is very progressive and always looking for the next best thing that we can do for our community and for our patients. And with that sort of progressive attitude and transparency that our leadership has provided, I've wanted to be a part of that. And so whether it was when we initiated Plaintree or as we've expanded with our heart care or neurosurgery, there are just, it's an organization that I wanted to be a part of until I retire.
It's just been a really rewarding 27 years, so I've just really enjoyed it. Seen a lot of things grow. We were just a small hospital here, and all of a sudden they started adding on, and I used to transport for MRI, and that's when we had the trailer out back. We had to take them out there in the wind and snow, and I'm just really excited about all the growing and being a part of it and knowing what's going on. And
I've worked here almost 31 years. My mother retired from here, and I started here a few months later. We've been a long line of Kadlec family. She insisted that I could not work anywhere else. This was the place to work, and I have to agree.
I think it's exciting here at Kadlec, the growth that we're seeing, because we have such a need in this area for specialties, and to see us trying to accommodate those specialties so that people aren't having to travel to Spokane or Seattle. It's nice to see that we're trying to grow and accommodate it, because it's a big burden for families to have to travel out of the city just to get basic everyday care. And so to bring those back home, that's really promising for us.
Some of the things that make me really proud to work at Kadlec are the small everyday things that happen. One day I was walking in from the parking lot, and another employee and I saw that an older gentleman was across the street in the parking lot of a surgery center, and Dial-A-Ride had dropped him off at the wrong place. So we walked him to the other surgery center where he was trying to get half a block away. He was in a walker. It was hard for him to get around, but it would have taken him way too long to be able to get in touch with Dial-A-Ride. And it was just a small thing. She was on her way to work, and we were able to call in and let them know what was going on and that we're on our way in, but we were taking care of a patient. He wasn't even our patient. He was going completely somewhere else, but because we both saw the need, and it was just a natural thing, and it was wonderful to see that that was her priority as well.
I've been here almost 18 years. In September it'll be 18 years. Well, when I first started working here, I never expected it to get as large as it is today. And every day I see changes. It's growing more and more. And like I said, I never thought that it would ever get this big. But I'm going to stick around and see what the changes are.
My husband was born here in 1956, and all of our children were born here, and Kadlec has come a long way. I've worked here 20 years. I'm really proud to be a Kadlec employee. It's meant a lot to our family.
I have gone to a lot of different conferences. You know, I've always wanted to go there and see what I can bring back. And I want to see what's new and what we haven't done. I can tell you 99% of the time that I go anywhere to my conferences, we are doing that. It's just amazing how far along that we are on top of everything nationwide. That's one thing I'm very proud about, that we are there. Like, I can say, yes, that's where we're at.
Some of the things that impact me the most are the patients. A lady that I remember who had MS that I took care of as a floor nurse. And she, I don't even remember what she was here for, but I knew that she had MS and she was pretty much incapacitated. She couldn't move much at all. But as I was working with her in her room, her eyes were always on me, you know, and I said, how come you're watching me so closely? And you know, she couldn't speak real well either, but she said, I like to learn, you know, and that just impacted me because here's this lady who's trapped in her body that's not working the way it should or it does for most of us. And she's still trying to get as much out of life as she possibly can.
I love working here. I wouldn't work anywhere else. I was here working Christmas Eve, and I had like a little heart attack. And I was admitted. They got me down in an instant, and they were right on me. And then I had a stent put in, and I was here for 4 days. And I wouldn't go anywhere else.
I'm Mary Sauers. I've been here, let me think, 24 years. I enjoy talking with people and meeting new people and helping them. All the people here are really nice, and they're easy to work with, and they get along with each other.
You know, the fact that Kadlec has just continually grown over the 20 years that I've been here is phenomenal. And I am impressed with the positive changes.
So when I came to Kadlec 15 years ago, it was like coming home for me. I was born here at this hospital. I'm not going to say how long ago, but it was when it was a very small hospital, nothing like it is now. And it just, when I come to work every day, it's like walking into my own house. So that's why I enjoy working here.
If you work for a facility that gives you the resources and the education to do a good job, you get to see the results. There is a celebration that takes place that's put on by the NICU for graduates, for patients that come through that are premature infants. Every year or couple of years they'll have this celebration and the patients return. I've had the opportunity to shake hands with a child coming out of college that we resuscitated when they were born. That's not much you can do to beat that, to be honest with you.
What's very interesting about this hospital is 31 years ago I was born here. I have since traveled to Florida and lived for quite a while in Florida, grew up in Florida, went to graduate school in Southern California, and here I am again, right back at Kadlec.
I chose to work at Kadlec because there's so much room for growth. You can start off as low as it can go and then work your way up to the top if you really feel like it.
I've been at Kadlec for just a little bit over 13 years, and my journey started when I was very young. I grew up a few blocks from here. I was born in the old barracks hospital before this new building was built. And I hadn't decided that I wanted to be a nurse at first, but the hospital kept drawing me back. My mom had her cancer treatment here. My father actually passed away here, and that's what brought me into nursing. And one of the neatest things was I took care of a little 90-year-old lady when I first got my nursing license, and she told me the story of how she was a nurse in the old hospital when I was born, and so she thought she had probably taken care of me, so it was pretty touching to have that full circle. Love this community, would not have worked anywhere else. Just really love working at Kadlec. It just really, being able to make a difference in people's lives, and it's a great place to work.